Thank you for Razom for Ukraine that they invite me today, and I'm so happy to be here as a viewer, and it was a really nice time just to sit and observe it like as a viewer. And yeah, about LINOLEUM Contemporary Animation and Media Art Festival. Our festival were founded at the 11 years ago by Anastasiia. She is really nice producer, and I'm really enjoyed to work with her. I'm joined to a team at the 2020 as a curator of the children's and teenagers programs. And I just, at that time, I worked on an animation studio for 3 years already. I worked on a stop-motion studio at Kyiv, and we made short films for children's and on adult topics. So, and I just started to do this job, and it's not just about screening, it's about educational programming. We've been made lectures, workshops. I think one of the most important project that we made in Ukraine. It's about education for kids, and right before because I moved to US, and right before when I moved to here, we made a project where for displaced children and their moms. It was about to give them opportunity to learn about process how to make an animation just using their phone, to give them to express themselves using this tool animation. Yeah, and it's still LINOLEUM Contemporary Animation Film Festival is still existent, and they just did it in Ukraine. And I'm so happy that they invite people there, people join there, and it's wonderful that they can do it during wartime when it's air alarm rates. You have to go to basement where it's air alarm, and for me also it's a very special when you can sit and enjoy and do not think that you have to go somewhere in the basement if it's air alarm. So truly, it's really, really special.
I mean, it's a privilege for us to, again, create spaces like this and share moments like this and stories like this. So again, thank you for joining us. Actually, echoing what you were saying in terms of the programming, how, maybe you can comment basically on the films that we watched here today, but what's, from the programmer standpoint, what's the selection process like? What is it that LINOLEUM Film Festival looks for? Because you also curate for Ani as well. They're both two international film festivals. So what's the process like to select shorts specifically for LINOLEUM?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have two parts of programming. It's a competition and non-competition. So we have and curators who are watching films. They're making selection on their own point of view, and then if it's competition, they're invited a jury, and if it's not in competition, then they just it's just screening. Usually, if I can speak about my programming, I have to view on age kids psychology, and to know what they can perspective, how to build program, to make a point on this psychology stuff.
Well, if we're talking sort of during wartime, it's obviously, we've noticed, and those who have come to our programs prior, our film programming is very heavy documentary-wise. Obviously, it's nearly impossible to make narrative films right now in Ukraine for various different reasons, safety being main point of it, finances, et cetera, et cetera. Animation, I think, is this such a special genre where...
Yeah, I want to say again, thanks for that you gave a special time, a special programming for animation, because usually it's a point of view for animation, like a daughter of filmmaking or granddaughter or something that it stays outside. But it's a really a great tool to talk to audience, to make this connection through through films, through animation films, and to create this connection, because we're sitting on the front of the screen and we're observing what feelings it can bring for us. And yeah, it's also about connection with us, what we can observe, or we can just turn our face from screen because it's uncomfortable, or we can enjoy it. It's something about that. And yeah, I can give a short, my points of view on this animation. It's complete very nicely, and because I'm not a curator of this program, so I think Polina made it, right?
Actually, your team selected them and then sent me a handful, and then our Razom Cinema program kind of set together and we're like, oh, cool, this is nice, and again picked a sort of different genres, different themes, and stylistically.
Yeah, mostly of these films, they were made on a few last years, and they've been made by young directors. Probably most older here is Mykyta, Lyskov, which you saw this Deep Love film, and yeah, they are very young. Most of them, I made some research about these directors. Not a lot of them, they are in Ukraine mostly. They are somewhere in different countries, yeah. And I want to pay attention about financial stuff. Unfortunately, it's a problem. It's a problem everywhere, even in US, everywhere.
In terms of financing a project?
Here you see just one film. It says supported by state agency, film agency. It's it's a Mykyta, Lyskov.
Yeah.
Other films they made probably just by independent. I saw Leliukh Film School. It's probably Czech Republic. So yeah, that's nice that people can get support somewhere abroad.
So this is kind of what I was going with the question. Have you, given the circumstances, have you seen, maybe not, but perhaps have you seen sort of an uptick in people, filmmakers, turning to animation as a genre that they want to explore storytelling in, because narrative is not as accessible, and with animation, sort of your team really could be anywhere in the world. So have you seen that as more people diving into animation, or maybe it's the other way around?
I think animation, it's very individual, I think, and it's a different ways for people to come to this way to, I don't have any formal education. I just came to animation studio and I said I want to work with you, and I work with living legend Stepan Koval. He is director and he's really great master of stop motion. And I think it's different way how people can get. Of course, it's nice when people can get an education, and just to make this process using stages and go up, yeah.
And LINOLEUM, I know, has done, especially since beginning full-scale animation, has done various collaborations with different, for master classes to bring in that education as much as
what
you can.
we made, exactly what I managed this project. Yeah, it was about workshops for kids, for teenagers, mostly. Yeah, and usually we taught them how to make their own film using their smartphone. Yeah, it was very nice.
And yeah, enjoy your evening. Thank you, Anya, for being here.
Thank you. Thank